Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 16th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how things are going to be handled by the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of right now, many changes are being made over at Lucasfilm, all thanks to Iger and Chapek, for really giving a major facelift over at Lucasfilm, to really give the fans something to look forward to, and in order to create more authentic stories. Now that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer involved on a creative level with these new Star Wars films, TV shows, comics, books, novels, and video games, and so on and so forth. So the new universe is actually said to be far larger than the old one that we got back in the 1990s and the early 2000s. This really does tell us a lot. This shows us that Disney is very ambitious about the future and exactly where things are going to go for, of course, the future of the Skywalker legacy and where it's all going to pick up. Now, not too long ago, we talked about a new Skywalker, a secret Skywalker, if you will, that is currently in development over at Lucasfilm, that's going to be introduced in this new expanded universe in the form of the Rise of Skywalker sequel series that's going to be in animated form, as well as books, novels, and comics, etc. Now, the thing about this new Skywalker is that it's going to be heavily based off of the character of Cade, but what's even more exciting all has to do with now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are moving on to their new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as their new Star Wars universe. Now, it's explained that currently both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new universe that will bring fans into a brand new mythology that they have never seen before in the Disney canon. Currently, Disney is developing multiple authentic stories for the new universe with George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and even Dave Filoni, where it's explained that all three of them are working on a story for the character of Zane Skywalker, who is described to be the son of Rey Skywalker in a post-Episode 9 era that will take place decades after the events of Episode 9, and the character will be heavily based on Cade Skywalker from Star Wars Legends. Now, it's noted that one of the big story elements for Zane Skywalker is that his story will follow after the death of Rey Skywalker from natural causes in the new expanded universe, where Lucasfilm has a plan in place to introduce an older version of Rey Skywalker in the new set of stories where eventually she will die in the new EU and become a Force ghost and communicate with Zane Skywalker. Now, it's explained that the Zane Skywalker story will also feature Force ghosts of Anakin and Luke, as well as Leia and Ben Solo into the mix, where Zane is of course going to be a character to carry on the Skywalker legacy, and that Ben Solo will also be involved in all of this in a significant way. Not just that, but also another story being developed for this new Skywalker is set to introduce Zane Skywalker's childhood in the planned Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will reveal Rey's new Jedi Academy where she trains him to become a proper Jedi. However, the character will eventually devolve and push the Skywalker legacy away, only for the Force ghosts of the past to see Zane as a continuation of the bloodline, where he will be modeled after Cade and carry on that legacy. So, this is very interesting, because if you look at the marketing of Episode 9, right? The end of the Skywalker saga. Now, of course, that's as far as films go. That's exactly what that meant. Obviously, they're going to be pushing it forward in this new expanded universe, hence how we have Rey Skywalker now, and George Lucas, John, and Dave are trying to find legitimate ways to make her actually connected to that bloodline, so that this new Skywalker, Zane, can actually be connected to the previous Skywalker characters. Now, this to me I find to be a very interesting piece, because it does tell us that they're trying to keep the Skywalkers alive. They realize that the Skywalkers are what sell. They are basically the glue of the Star Wars franchise, there's no doubt about that. And to really continue it with this new EU, you gotta do it right. So, Zane Skywalker, like I say, gonna be modeled after Cade. The fact that these stories are gonna also introduce an older Rey should be very interesting. I think that this also confirms that we're most likely not gonna see a set of stories in film, you know, in the form of a film or a movie, whatever have you, that's going to show us an older version of Rey. It seems like that they're going to do this in the form of comics and novels and books and animated TV series strictly. So I think that this all has to do with Disney realizing that a lot of fans weren't fully invested with Rey, Finn, Poe, and stuff around those lines, right? So this Zane Skywalker character, like I said, I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting because this Skywalker is said to be a bounty hunter, which is exactly what Cade Skywalker was in the Star Wars Legacy comics back in the early 2000s, before Disney took over Lucasfilm in 2012. So, looking forward to this, I will be honest, I'm really excited about 2021. It's going to be a big year for the expanded universe, and it's also going to be a big year for them really getting to heavy work on, everything related to this new mythology and so on and so forth. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.